Hey everyone, welcome back. Hopefully you guys had a great Sunday. I did. I'm feeling better today, which is nice. Nice to get over this virus, flu, whatever the heck this thing was that I had for the last couple of days. But it's also a good day because my Chicago Bears actually won against the, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now. Man, memory sucks when you're getting old. Can I think of it? Packers. Gosh, Packers. They were going against the Packers. They haven't won against them in a long time, so it's nice to actually have a win on that. Okay, enough football talk. Let's get into what we were really here to talk about, which is going to be on Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin miners the past week. How did they do? It was actually a really good week for the miners, so that's good. But yeah, it's going to be a short one, and then we'll get into you guys' Q&A. We'll look at those things. Look at, I think that's about it. That's all I got right now for you guys. Okay, so let's get into the always necessary tidbit, which is not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And Bitcoin's actually doing pretty good right now. It is still above the 50 simple day moving average, which is nice to see. And we bounced off of it here today. We came and touched it. You can see it here on the line here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me zoom this in maybe a little bit more. But you can see it here. We touched it. We bounced off it, which was nice. We have been above that for the last basically 3 days. The trading has been kind of flat over the weekend, which is nice, right? We want to see that. At least I want to see that. I don't want to see huge spikes up or down or anything like that. I don't want to have those gaps on the CME futures happening on Monday morning. So I love seeing that we're kind of just flat more or less. We're starting to pump a little bit here on the new day, which is going to be Monday. And we're up at 99,135 right now, which is nice. Really want to see it get above 100,000 though. If we can get above 100,000 and stay there, that might be a good sign for us. Otherwise, you know, we'll have to wait and see if we battle with this 50 simple day moving average again. If we do, if we break below it, we might be going down, like I said before in previous videos where I said we might go down to like 85,000 or something like that, 80,000 even. That would be a 30% correction from the high of 108,388. So I'm hoping that we don't have to go down that low. I'm hoping that we just continue going up. That would be great. But yeah, the miners have definitely been doing much better here this past weekend or the past week. In comparison to Microsoft, comparison to Bitcoin. It's late and I'm getting tired here. But that's all I have on Bitcoin right now. We'll see how it does tomorrow. The miners are obviously going to be trading tomorrow as well. We'll see what other reports we get. I'm guessing we're going to get probably from Cleanspark, IREN as well. Riot should probably report as well. They usually report a couple of days out. So we should have a couple of reports for production updates for December for the miners, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to go for them as well. And we'll see how the miners do. The miners had a great Friday. Will it translate over into Monday as well? Or are we going to have some selling happening, taking profits again on the miners here? We'll have to wait and see. If the miners do go up, I think that's going to be a good sign here for us for the next, potentially a couple of weeks, couple of months with the miners. But Bitcoin network continues to roll up. It is now on the 30-day average. It is at 785. That continues to increase here as time goes on. It's going to only continue to increase as miners get more hash rate installed and everything else. Okay, so that's it on that. Bitcoin right now, for the month of January, is up 5.5% as of like half an hour when I refresh this page. So that's looking pretty good. And it's going to be hit or miss. Historically, Bitcoin has been 50-50 on Januaries. So we could have a green month or we could have a red month. It all depends. We'll see how it plays out. Going over here to the Bitcoin miners. On this chart, Bitcoin miners versus the Bitcoin for the last 52 weeks from the lows and from how far away they are from the 52-week highs as well. We can see here that, well, Core has done the best from the 52-week lows. It is up 489%. So basically, last year, this time frame, it was much lower than where it is right now, and it's looking really good. TeraWolf was up also 401%. BitDeer up 399%. Hut 8 up 290%. IREN up 218%. Cypher up 158%. Bitcoin's up 157%. All these guys have at least stayed with it or outperformed Bitcoin here in the last 52 weeks, which is nice. These guys here have underperformed. And you can see here that these guys are pretty much like all of the pure play miners here for the most part, with the exception of Hive. But Hive is a Canadian miner along with Bitfarms. You can see Riot's only up 94%, Cleanspark up 68%, Hive 51%, Marathon up 49%, and Bitfarms up 16.2%. So definitely underperforming where Bitcoin is. And like I've said before, I expect these guys to do really well here in the next couple quarters, right? Especially as they mine a lot more. They're growing their hash rate. They're generating more revenue as well because of it. And then Marathon has a huge hodl position. Riot has a huge one as well. Cleanspark, number 3 there as well, based on those guys. So I expect great things going forward. We'll see how that translates. But you can see here that Cleanspark is still 56% away from its 52-week highs. Bitfarms is 56% as well. And then you got Marathon at 42%, Hive 40%, and Riot 32% on that. And then you got TeraWolf like 33%. So TeraWolf has definitely come down here in price in the last, I'd say, a couple of weeks. What has it been? Maybe 6-8 weeks or something like that. It's definitely coming back down a little bit to reality, which is nice. All right. As far as the miners versus Bitcoin this past week, we can see Bitcoin up 5% in the past week. I track it Friday to Friday, where others might track it Sunday to Sunday. I track it with the trading of the miners. So Monday through Friday, basically, and ends on Friday for me. But we can see Bitcoin's up 5%, Bitfarms up 6, IREN 6, Marathon up 7, HUT 8 up 8, Core up 9, BitTier up 10, along with Cleanspark, Hive up 11%, Riot up 12%, TeraWolf up 12, Cypher up 15%. So Cypher's done the best here, and pretty much all of the miners have outperformed here Bitcoin in the last week, which is nice, which is kind of what we would expect to see in a regular bull run of the miners against Bitcoin, right? The miners should do at least a 2x better than what Bitcoin's doing. So this is definitely nice to see. Could this be a start of a trend that we're going to see here going forward? I hope so. Time will tell, right? We're still early on in basically the first week of January. So we'll see how that does going forward into January, and then into obviously February and March as well. But right now it's looking pretty good. So maybe things are definitely turning around for some of these miners here right now. But we can see here that we had a nice green week all the way across. We haven't had one of those since basically beginning week of November here. We had a nice green week for everything here, where we saw a lot of the miners being up 36%, 30%, 31%, 31%, again 35% for Riot, 33% for Wolf. That was a really good week for all the miners. Other than that, prior to that, we had 2 weeks that we were in the red in everything here, the last 2 weeks of the month, which is kind of what we talked about a couple of weeks back, even before the start of December. One of the things I said was we might have a little bit of sell-off going into the end of December here for tax purposes. Sure enough, we saw that. That came to fruition. We also talked about possibly having January being better. And so far it is, starting out that way. We'll see if it continues being that way. But other than that, what else do we have here? That's basically it on it. The miners, right? We'll have to wait and see how they do going forward. But right now, we're starting out pretty good. So that is all I got for you guys, really. I'm still trying to get healthier, get better. Took a couple naps today just to keep my energy up. But things are looking better. So, yeah, that is it. Let's get into Q&A, see what you guys have to ask, any questions or anything like that. Yeah, that's it. Let's get into Q&A. Will be a nice, easy, light show today. I'm going to scroll up to the questions that are up there. Let me see here. And then if you guys have a question, preface it with a question mark or a Q, and then the question, and I'll get to all your questions as well. Give me a little second here to catch up on things here. All right, there's that one. Okay, question. Okay, here we go. Razgul. As you sell Riot at 18 at 52-week high and Mara at 30 at 52-week high, and at what price I have to sell Cleanspark? That I don't know. That is up to you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you sold them at the highs, congrats to you for being able to time that. That's very good. All right, let's see what else here. Question, what you think miners start moving up and hedge stop shorting miners? That's kind of what I'm thinking here. I think some of the hedges might stop going forward, and then going long on some of these miners, because they're going to start reporting their quarterly results for Q4 here in about a month and a half or so, month and a half. So we should start seeing some positive EPS numbers come out. That's why I think maybe they're kind of front running that a little bit, and we saw that a couple of times before as well. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Bevney says, question mark is already up 5% overnight. Nice, so we're having a nice start there. Okay, question here. BTC making hot and heavy moves to 150,000 miners not following. What's your next move? If they're still trading sideways here, I don't know. I may hold off a little bit longer, wait to see what happens. Or I might start selling my 5% here, 5% there. I'm still in profit, so I have options right now. It's not like I'm in the red. Okay, so your question, do you think it would be smart to trim miners and go into MSTX? Don't know. MSTX is, what, a 2x on MicroStrategy, I think. Is that correct? MicroStrategy, I don't know. I'm in the miners. I think the miners will outperform MicroStrategy here going forward. But time will only tell on that one. All right, let's see. Not that one. Why did that one pop up? Okay, here we go. Can you comment on BTC lending and what you think of it? Do you think it's risky or is it setting the trend for others? So we had BTC lending back in last cycle, right? It wasn't called BTC lending. It was called BTC, what was it? What was the term for it? It was yield, right? You were getting yield on your Bitcoin. And you're getting yield like it's 7%, 6%, something like that. That was just ridiculous in my opinion. That's why I never got in. Scam to me. How can they get that kind of yield when at least at that point, the interest rates were much lower? So that's the one reason why I'm cautious about it. When I hear companies lending it out, I like to know who they're lending it out to, because there's always going to be a third-party risk, right? And then who are those companies lending it out to? And then who are those companies lending it out to? So then you have this kind of multiplying effect possibly on it. So that's what I would really like to know, if the third party is really good, right? If they're lending it out to like BlackRock or something like that with their ETFs, okay, that's a huge, what is that, multi-trillion or $1 trillion corporation there, and or not corporation, but at least they manage over $1 trillion in assets and things like that. I don't think they're going anywhere. But that's kind of where I stand on it. I'm a little cautious on it. Is it a trend to come? Possibly. We don't know, right? We'll have to wait and see what that is. But I know that Marathon's lending out 7,000 some odd Bitcoin. Bitfarms was doing a, what do they call it? They called it something else, where they're hedging on Bitcoin at that point. They did really good on that as well. There's another way to play it as well. So we'll have to wait. Time will tell, right? As long as they're good third parties, I think things will be okay. So here, Sour Melon says, Monster Monday incoming. That'll be great. Let's see here. Bethany, what about IREN, MicroStrategy, Hut 8, Hive, Bitfarms, and Cleanspark? If you have those, I think you have a good portfolio there. Let's see. Hey, Seb, in your opinion, do you think the U.S. will get a Bitcoin reserve? Yeah, I do think so. Will it be within the first 100 days of President Trump taking office? I don't know. I think that would be a worthy goal to do that. But I do think it's going to happen. Let's see. Next one here. If Bitcoin recovers from this consolidation and starts to trend upward again, do you believe this was the last minor shakeout and price will stabilize moving forward? I do think so. And the only reason I think that's the case is because we have been in this kind of, after the halving event, it was tough on the miners, right? Cut their revenue in half. And so then you were able to short them because you knew they were going to have crappy revenues. So that's the reason why you short them. Now going forward into after Q4 results are coming out, which should be coming out, like I said, in about a month and a half or so for these guys, that should be a catalyst, I would think, where the miners do have much better revenues, much better EPS numbers as well, things like that. That's kind of where you want to flip the playbook a little bit. You want to go more possibly long instead of short on these things. And that's kind of where I think on this part of it, but time will tell. All right, covered that. What else we got here? I'm trying to find a question. Okay, here we go. Late, but I made it. Seb, well, thanks so much for coming in here, Heinzie Ketchupy. Seb, do you think BTC will tank and then tomorrow miners will act like BTC didn't rise this weekend? Do I think BTC will tank and then tomorrow miners will act like BTC didn't rise this weekend? Well, I mean, Bitcoin rised a little bit this weekend, but it didn't do much. It was mostly flat. It's up a little bit now. It's at 99,246. So that's looking pretty good there. But, I mean, it's up 1% here. I don't think Bitcoin's going to tank. Well, I'm not saying it can't. It can if it wants to. But right now it's holding off. It's holding above the 50 simple day moving average, which I think is a good sign. If you can break above 100,000 at that point, I think it'll do much better. We might be able to withstand that 100,000 mark as support. So if we do that, that'd be great. If we don't do that, we fall below 50 simple moving day average, then we might be falling down even more. So we'll see. Nobody has a crystal ball on that. Okay. BTC drop or pump on Trump's coming into office end of January. So he's coming in on the 20th. I don't know. We might get a pump. We might get a dump. I'm not sure. It could be one of those things where it's buy the rumor, sell the news, right? He's getting into the office. That'd be sell the news part. Papa Powell also making his speech end of January. Lots of volatility coming. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Heinze Ketchup says Trump needs to confirm a Bitcoin reserve. This would be a great catalyst. I thought he said that a couple weeks ago, that when they're going to do something on the first day, but we'll see. Let's see your comment. I think Cleanspark might announce 10,000 HODL tomorrow. They had a few more days since the end of the month, and they were very close. Maybe if they mined like 670, I think somebody said. What would that put them to? At 670? Where is it at? I gotta find it. Cleanspark, they had last month 927, 627. That would get them pretty close. Yeah. They might announce that they're at 10,000. They would be very close for sure. And this is what I'm looking at here. So if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, I'm looking at this screen here. They had close to 9,300 here. So 67. If they got 670 Bitcoin here in December. That would get them pretty close, and then the last couple of days they probably should have mined that, so they should be above 10,000 Bitcoin, possibly. All right, going back here. Let's see. Your voice is murmuring. Yeah, it could be because I'm tired also, and then still getting over this flu virus, whatever the heck that thing I have. Question. Okay. Roger, what makes you so confident that the bull run is still intact? Last bull run, everyone was expecting 100,000 and it never came. Same sentiment. Different all around conditions right now, I think. The thing that's much different is the ETFs. We have that. We have nation states talking about putting it on Bitcoin on as a strategic reserve. We also have states talking about it, companies. So it's a lot different, and we have less supply than we did last time around as well. So that's kind of why I think that would be the case. Let's see. So what's your opinion on Riot? Would you buy an IREN 2x long ETF? Oh, I don't know. That's even more volatility on top of what the miners are already volatile. I would probably stay away. I just like owning the shares outright. It's volatile as it is already, and then adding another 2x volatility on top of it, that would make it much harder. Would it make it possibly more profitable? Sure, but the volatility there would be tough. Let's see. Your Bad Teacher, great movie. I thought it was a hilarious movie. What are your 1, 2, 3 if you were going in from zero right now? Are any of the top 6 worth rotating out of, into, or top 3 picks? Okay, let me break that down. So the top 3 I think would be like Cleanspark, IREN, Mara. You could also include in there like Riot and Bitfarms as well in that. And is it still worth getting into them? I still think it is. Right? If you at least get a 2x on these guys, right? Minimum. Bear case, minimum you get 2x on these guys. Where else could you possibly get that in maybe a couple months? So I still think that might be a good pick there. So what do you think BTC will do around Inauguration Day? I'm not sure. I know it's going to probably go up, but we might be going down before we go up. So I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. Seb, do you think Bitfarms is undervalued? Yeah, I do think it is. Seb, what's the most high risk, high reward miner right now in your opinion? High risk, high reward. Man, it's going to be one of the smaller miners. I don't know which one it's going to be. I could look at, I think, Hive I don't think is risky. Hive, we know what's coming up there. It could be, DMG, Digihost maybe. What other ones are out there that, Sado might be another one. What's the other one there? Soluna as well. That one. I think they're more risky, but there might be more upside, maybe. Let's see. Trump inaugurated possible reserve legislation, ETF inflows, positive minor earnings, increase in BTC price, lower interest rates, environment, and any other possible incoming catalyst I'm missing. The other countries buying it. Countries, states, pension funds, things like that. I mean, yeah, it's all good news stuff. Let's see. Okay. Clarification needs to confirm it the first day he's in office. Eric, Trump, and Saylor apparently are pals. I see a lot of connections with the coming administration with BTC. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun first 100 days for sure. Let's see. Was Friday just another dead cat bounce? I don't think so, but we'll see. Right? It didn't seem like it. It seems like the miners were front running Bitcoin a little bit. Okay, Riot versus IREN versus Cleanspark. Oh, excuse me. Versus Marathon for upside Q1. Who would be the most profitable? Most profitable? That's going to be tough because you got the FSB rules as well in there. So that could, I might say, it might be Mara, maybe. But they also have higher costs when it comes to production here. So Cleanspark also has a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. It just depends on what kind of stuff they throw into all of the end of year stuff here. I know Cleanspark's going to be pretty clean because they had the end of the year at the end of Q3. So I think that one's going to be pretty clean. But the other ones, those might get a little muddy. Let's see. Seb, what's your favorite movie? Oh gosh, I got quite a few favorite movies. I really enjoyed Forrest Gump. I thought that one was great. I also enjoyed like the Die Hard movies. The John Wick movies. The first one was, I think, the best one. Then you had also Terminator 2 was really good. There's a bunch of other movies that but you put me on spot here. But there's a bunch of movies that I thought were great. The Patriot with Mel Gibson. There was Lethal Weapon. Gosh, there was a bunch of great movies. There were a bunch of great movies from the 80s too. Christmas Vacation, all those, movies back then. All right. Let's see your question. Why wouldn't Bitcoin ETF and MicroStrategy show proof they actually hold the Bitcoin they say they do? That is a good question. I'm not sure. The only thing I can think of on that is based on what kind of proof would you need? Would you need the address, right? So that's kind of the fear there is the address. People may try to hack it somehow. What else we got here? Okay. What do you think Riot's exahash will be at once Casa is finished? Oh, you're talking about their site. What are they at there now with it? They got, 16 exahash at Rockdale, roughly. Another 16 or close to that at Corsicana, I think is the one you're talking about. Corsicana is supposed to be, 1 gigawatt, I believe? And they've used up, 300 megawatts right now? So they still have a ways to go, I guess. So if they're at 16 now, or roughly, I'm going off just the top of my head here. You could do another 32 on top of it, plus, so you're looking at maybe like 40 exahash on top of it, somewhere around there, I think, if I'm doing my math right. Okay, let's see. Seb, are you Western or Eastern U.S.? I'm guessing, Kelly, if you are doing lives this late. No, I'm actually Central. I'm around Chicagoland, so I'm Central. I know it's late. I'm a late owl. I usually stay up till like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So, what else we got? Thanks, Dim Crazy. He's giving these late lives. Kudos to Seb. You're very welcome. This is the time that usually works out the best for me, like these late streams around 9, 10 o'clock. Kids are going to bed at that point. It's a little less hectic. And then, wife's going to bed as well, and I have a little bit more time to do these things. Okay. Should Riot holders be concerned about the Rhodium court case win against Riot's subsidiary Whinstone? Depending on how much they could possibly win on that, might be costly, but then they're going to probably kick the can down the road and countersue. You know how the lawyers think. It could take years before that's all settled out. Let's see here. Seb, if Bitcoin hits 100,000 on stream, you have to Trump dance. I already did that once. Not doing it again. All right, let's see. If your portfolio goes in the deep red and we're approaching middle of 2025, what's your next move? Well, by that time, if we're getting to 2025 or middle of 2025, my portfolio is going to go down in value. I'm probably just going to take my my initial investment out, and I'll be done. That's it. We'll see how they do continuing on here, but I don't expect that to happen. But if that was the case, yeah, I'd just take the money that I put into it and, you know, pay off some debt at that point. Okay. Yep, I agree with you there. If Bitcoin is to succeed, then miners must always be able to succeed. So price must rise with having. Would you not agree? Yes, I agree. Let's see. Hey, Seb, what do you think of the new Squid Game season? I didn't watch the first one either. Never got into it. My wife got into it. She's watching the second season right now, but I just could never get into it. I don't know if you saw the series on. It was on Apple TV. C. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, that's great. Also, the one on Apple TV again was, oh gosh, the football coach that goes to coach soccer in England. What was that? See, I'm terrible with names and terrible with things I probably should remember. But just, I guess, things that don't really mean much to me, but they're great. I probably should have remembered them. But that one was great. The Showgirls, yeah, that is a classic there. Okay, Cleanspark, let's see here. Let's see, 300,000 BTC, Cleanspark could go, yeah, if we're going to 300,000 Bitcoin at that point, yeah, I mean, these guys are going to be making, I mean, you could see Mara be even more than that at that point. All right. Bad teacher again. Question. Let me rephrase the question. Is it worth rotating out of your miners 4, 5, and 6 picks, Bitfarms, for example, and into your 1, 2, 3 picks, Cleanspark, IREN, etc., or just hold steady under Riot and Bitfarms? So if you have Bitfarms, depending when you bought into it, that's going to be your decision to make. If you bought in much lower and you're still in the green, okay, you might want to hold on to it. But if you bought higher and it's lower now, maybe you do want to transition out of it. I'm holding on to Bitfarms right now. I still have Cleanspark. I still have IREN. I'm looking to buy more of those guys on dips if it happens, and I might be adding to that portfolio like Marathon and probably Marathon right now. If I was to add anything else, I'd probably add Marathon right now. Okay. If all it takes is for a public Bitcoin address to be posted for it to be hacked, then every single Bitcoin wallet is at risk. I believe they won't show proof because they don't have any. I don't think that's the case. They are public companies that get audited. So the auditing firm has to verify that where those things are. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you make a good point there that, yeah, addresses are out there. So your sub, you are cutting in and out. If you get out of the stream and come back into it, that should fix it. It's, for whatever reason, something on YouTube. I don't know why. Let's see. Hey, Seb, on one of your live streams, you wore a wristwatch. What watch was it? What is the most important lesson about time that you've learned over the course of your life? The watches that I do have are Citizen watches. They're both like, first watch I got was like $350. The second one that I just got here this past month was $250. So I've had the first watch for, gosh, almost 18 years, and the thing still runs great. I love it. It's nice and thin. It's the metal one that you see. The one with the leather band, that's the one I just got recently here. What's the life lesson I learned about time? You never get more of it. So cherish the time that you do have with your family, your friends, but more so with your family, because the family you can't really change. They're always going to be there for you as well. Friends do move. They do change. Things change in life with friends. But family is one thing that you always want to have with you, especially like your wife, your kids. Cherish those times. That's why I've done everything I can in the last year or so to streamline this process for doing these kind of streams, so it takes less of my time to just be able to spend more time with my family. So that's the only thing you get more of, or don't get more of. Okay, yeah, Ted Lasso, thank you so much. Most undervalued miners right now, that would be Hive, Bitfarms, Cleanspark, IREN, Riot, Marathon. Not in any particular order, but Hive is the most undervalued right now. Let's see here. Patrick says, you should watch the movie The Substance with Demi Moore. Okay. Interesting. Bevneet says, Bitfarms will do fine in 2025. It will easily 2x from here. I think it's the safest bet right now. Okay. I would agree with that. I think so. Okay. It is my honest opinion that MicroStrategy is a hodl. Buy and never sell. Do you ever see miners in the same light? Rex, the Cleanspark bull, seems to be on the same idea that it's a hodl. MicroStrategy, I don't think it's something you want to hold on to. Bitcoin is something you want to hold on to. MicroStrategy is a play that you want to play during the cycle, right? It went down just as much as the miners did last time when we got into a bear market. So for that reason, I would say no. Are there any other miners that might be hot long term? I think the miners that have substantial HPC AI business, like Core, too many names with C. Core Scientific, they have a contract there for 12 years, X number of billions of dollars in revenue over that time frame. That might be one that if we have another bear market where Bitcoin goes down 70%, they may only go down 40% or something like that, right? Because they have that continuation of revenue that's going to continue on for them. So any miner that has substantial revenue from that might fare better than the pure play miners on that. That's just kind of the way I would see it. What else we got here? Okay, what else? Try to find a question here really quick. Let's see. Where's the channel headed after miners? It's always going to be about the miners. We'll see what the miners do. If the miners go into a bear market, we'll talk about the miners for sure. But we may span out to other things. Investments in, property and things like that. Try to diversify a little bit. We'll see. I'm not saying that it's going to be strictly miners, but for the most part, it's going to be miners. And then I may do something else on top of it as well. If you guys want to come along for that, that's fine. If not, I'll stick with miners possibly. I don't know. Okay. Does Mara lending out Bitcoin scare you, or is it just me? No, I have gosh. Sorry. Gosh, my voice. It does concern me there, right? I'd like to know who the third parties are that they're lending it out to. We saw yield being given out last time with Bitcoin, and we saw a number of companies go under because you had one lender giving it to another lender. That lender basically did to another lender, and then just kept going, right? It just snowballed out of control. So that's my only concern there. As long as they're good third parties, then I'm okay with it, but I'd like to know who those are at least. Okay, question here. Sebits, the year 2028, BTC is at 500,000, Cleanspark's at 15. What's your next move? Oh, how many shares does Cleanspark have at that point? Do they have 1 billion shares? Right, so that's another part of it. So we need more details on that also. And then, it's not that easy. What's the network hash rate? What's their growth plan? What are their operations still like? There's still a lot more that goes into it. Okay, let's see. Heinze says, if Cleanspark goes to 80, I'm retiring. Let's see, Bill's fan. Seb's a Cleanspark guy. Yes, I am. And then the only reason is because of their operations. Their operations and growth have been great. So that's the only reason. I look at the numbers. That's what drives me. It's not any camp or anything like that. It's just who is operating great. And they've been the one that's been the most consistent here. Okay, so question. Seb Mara is a pioneer of Bitcoin mining. They are not rookies at this. by all means. So I trust they crossed out T's and dotted all the I's before lending Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I would hope so, right? But a lot of people were saying the same thing about Celsius and FTX as well, right? You had big players investing in them, right? Big guys, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars being invested in them, right? So things happen. Let's see what else. Here. Hey, Seb, I appreciate all your insight on the miners. I also see you hold Cardano at, and what are your thoughts about for 2025? To be honest, I don't know. I hold it because I got into it back in last cycle. I was down on it at one point. I think this bear market, I was down like 80, 90% on it. It's starting to slowly rebound, which is nice. I can at least get my investment back out of it when it does go back to, I think I got it in at $1.50, $2, something like that. So I can at least get my money out of it. Maybe hold on to it for the bear or for the bull run, and then maybe get a little bit of a profit. But I don't know what's going to happen there. I thought it was a great project there. I still think it's a great project, but obviously the bear market, took out a lot of these guys. Let's see your question. What is the Amber Ale you are drinking? That is just right now cranberry juice with water. That's it. Usually I would have a little adult beverage in there, but with me being sick and taking a lot of meds, I don't want to mix the two. So that is it. Let's see. Seb, do you do a day job? Yes, I do. What do you do for work? If so, I am a VP of operations of a distributor. So that is where that's where I spend most of my time. Let's see here. Question: diversifying into a property outperform BTC. Would you be doing Airbnb or regular rentals or a flip? That I don't know yet. Airbnb around my area, I could possibly do it. I'm not too far away from Chicago. I could possibly do that, but I think the ones that do really well are like the ones that have a theme to them, right? I was watching one Airbnb that's a couple bought land in Ohio. On their land was like a cave, and they were able to actually build like a house inside the cave there. That's an attraction, right? That's already booked out for a number of years out ahead. So something like that would be cool. Something that's got something different, I guess, for Airbnb would be great if you could do that. I think possibly maybe flips. Start out with a flip, see how it does. Maybe build something and try and sell it. Something like that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Like second in command, VP of operations, that would be, second in command basically. Okay, let's see. What do you distribute? I would rather not say, because then that makes it's a very niche market. So I think then you guys can find out all about me. So I'll just say it's very niche. Let's see your question. Do you believe the last bull run was stunned by FTX and Celsius and Luna bankruptcy? I do. I truly do. Do you think FTX was an agent of the U.S. government to suppress Bitcoin? No, because there's some people are saying that the CIA created Bitcoin, right? Which is kind of funny. So no, I don't think so. No, not on that one. Let's see here. Let's see. Are you a Bears fan or a Lions fan? I will say that the Bears are not going, obviously, towards the playoffs. So I'll probably be rooting for the Lions. It'll be between the Lions or what's the one out of Minnesota Vikings. I'll be rooting for one of those two teams. I don't even know if Minnesota is going into it. I thought they were having a pretty good season there, but the Lions are doing fantastic this year. Question: thoughts on selling covered calls on Bitfarms and Cleanspark? I don't do any options or anything like that, so you guys will have to. Hopefully, somebody else can provide that information as far as if there's any benefit to doing it. I don't do anything like that. Let's see. Question: looking at a situation with pure play miners, can we expect 2 to 3x returns from here? If Bitcoin goes to 150,000, 200,000, right? I would expect at least a 2x to a 3x on the miners. Yes. Let's see. Mahomes is greater than Allen. I mean, Mahomes has the rings, and they've been playing really, really well this year. Except for the game they had today, which they were using all their backups. They were getting their butts kicked. But yeah, otherwise they've been doing great. It's I think they're season to lose again. To your question, it's the year 2030. Me, you, and Chris Dominator sipping margaritas in the Bahamas. Retired BTC at 5 million. What's your next move? Nothing. Look at the beautiful landscape. Look at the beautiful scenery. Enjoy life. 2030. Geez, how old are my kids gonna be at that point? They're gonna be 5 years old from where they are right now. So they're still gonna be in school. So I'll still be with them, but at least I'll be able to enjoy it. Sean, what niche do you work in? Distribution niche. What else we got here? Let's see. Do you have a price target for your Doge bag? I'd love to see it get to like $1. I think that'd be awesome. I don't even know where it's at right now. I haven't checked it in a couple of weeks. I know I have it. I'll definitely have to look into it more when Bitcoin gets up higher. Any thoughts on Sol, please? I don't know enough about Sol to give you any thoughts on it. I know it did really good last cycle. I'm not sure even what's at right now. Do you see Bitfarms operations picking up and having their miners installation and SDIG sites resolved? Well, that's kind of what we were hoping for in December, but we didn't get that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I want some clarification. Hopefully they'll provide something soon. That would be nice. Let's see here. Express. Thank you as usual, per usual. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel 100%. Thank you. Yeah. Really appreciate you coming in here as well. Let's see. I believe the China mining ban also played a large factor in cutting last bull run short. Well, that was the first part, right? We reached that at 63,000, something like that, and then we fell because of it. And we did a double top on it towards the end of the year. So that could have been it. You also had, remember Elon Musk talking about how Bitcoin mining was dirty, and that's why they're no longer accept Bitcoin for being used to purchase the cars there. So it was a combination of things there. And I can't remember if Three Arrows Capital was that? No, that was later on. Three Arrows Capital was later on. It wasn't during that time frame. Let's see. Andrea says, if the miners triple, I'm retiring. Nice. That would be wonderful. Let's see. When you're referring to 2 to 3x price, are you referring to the local high? I'm referring to like from right now, right? If stock is at $10, if they go up $20, $30 to $20, $30, I would think that would be at the very least that they would do. If Bitcoin gets to like 200,000, right? That should be the very least that they do. Okay. When will Bitfarms have some good news? Significantly increase their hash rate? Ben has talked about it in other interviews where he said that they should have more consistent growth going forward. Well, we didn't see that in December. So hopefully in January, right? What else do we have here? Okay. Do you think getting into Bitcoin ETFs is a better option than the miners? I think they're less volatile, right? They follow Bitcoin more closely than the miners do. And the miners definitely get beaten down more, but they also appreciate more. So I think we have a mix of things in these things. Oh, gosh, my throat. Sorry, guys. I think if you have a mix of those in the basket, you're better off than being in just one or the other. I should follow. Well, I have Bitcoin, right? So I don't have to have the ETFs. So I'm okay with that there. Let's see here. LeBron versus MJ. Sorry, Seb. I got to say MJ. MJ, 6 championships, man. Yeah, I got to say MJ on that one. Went to a couple of Bulls games when they were in those championship games. Also went to the rallies when they won the championships too. I think I went to 2 of those. Man, those during my teens years. Those were some fun years. I really enjoyed those years. Midway, thank you so much for the super chat. Very, very, very kind of you. Thank you for all your streams this past year. I found your analysis very helpful, and I was able to make a lot of money from Bitcoin mining stocks in 2024, especially with IREN and BitDeer, but also in doing some trades in Cleanspark, Cypher, and Bitfarms. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's see, how much student loans you got left, Seb? I have 60-some thousand left. Yeah. So trying to get that paid off. Let's see. Question, what do you think is the most undervalued two miners moving forward? I'm thinking Bitfarms, Cypher, and Cleanspark are. Thanks for your thoughts, Seb. Cheers. Yeah, I think Bitfarms is in there. Hive is in there. Let's take a look at it here really quick. Enterprise metrics. This is one I like to use because that kind of points it out right there. Hive, number one, being the most undervalued, followed by Bitfarms. And you got Cleanspark, Riot, Iris, Marathon. Those guys are all the undervalued right now. Wow. Hold on. Bear with me. I got a cough. Sorry, I'm trying to clear my throat. Hate being sick. It makes it tough to do these streams. Let's roll through this. We're almost done, I think. Where am I at here? Okay, talked about that. Roger asks, I'm under the impression that the 4-year cycles are gone. Having had very little impact on the overall supply. Large players in it, they want to pump it now. Well, that would kind of coincide with my thinking that we might have an extended cycle. So we'll have to wait and see. We won't know until we're past probably this year, right? Whether or not it's a similar cycle that we've had in the past or is it an extended cycle. And if it's an extended cycle, it's going to be definitely interesting to see how the miners perform at that point as well, because typically they've needed that big boost in Bitcoin price going up like crazy for them to have a catalyst to make a lot of money at that point and be ahead of the network hash rate as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on it. But yeah, time will only tell on that one, unfortunately. With so much sorting on Bitcoin big names like Mawson, Cleanspark, Riot, do you think short squeezes are coming if BTC starts to rally again? I mean, it's not that big. I mean, it's, what is it? Cleanspark last time we checked was 25, 27%, whatever it was. I think Marathon was like 24% short on shares floated there. So it's not that big. I think someplace I read that it said like it has to be over like 30 some odd percent for it to be a sizable short squeeze. So I don't know if them being at 20 some odd percentage, if that's going to still work out. But nonetheless, I do think that some of these shorts are going to start going in long because they're going to be generating so much more revenue. But time will tell on that as well. Let's see. Any thoughts on price of Cleanspark and IREN when BTC is at 220? Oh, geez. At 225, I would think they would be at least, I wouldn't say at least, but I would think they would be like up 5x from where they are right now. That would be kind of nice if they were able to do that. So you're really breaking up badly shortly into your Q&A. Fix it. I can't hear you clear. Try getting out of the stream and going back into it. That usually fixes it. That usually fixes it. So that should be it. I have a gigabit speed here on my connection, so it shouldn't be on me. And then if we're starting out good, I think it's just the YouTube. Okay, let's see here. Heinze says, thanks, Seb, and good luck to all. Let's all make money and win this week. Yeah, best of luck to everyone. Let's see here. Sharon, are you saying I should liquidate everything and go all in? No, I'm definitely not saying that. I'm saying that they're the most undervalued, but will they outpace everybody else in percentage gains? That's where I don't know, right? Their growth is much smaller than the other miners. The revenue is going to be smaller as well. So I don't know about that. What else we have here? Let's see here. Lemon barley water will help your throat. Thank you for that. I'll look into it. All right, let's see. What PE are you using on your price targets on IREN? 20. That should be 20 for them. Okay. Do you think we pump before or after earnings? Who reports first? Cleanspark, yes. I believe Cleanspark is going to be the first one because they had the end of the year in Q3. It could be also Hive. Hive also, I think, had their end of year in Q2, I believe. So one of those two guys will report probably first. But I think last time it was Cleanspark that reported first. Cleanspark has a little bit easier job of reporting because they have operations here in the United States, whereas Hive has operations in United States, I think, Canada, Sweden, someplace else. All right, what else we got here? There is so much speculation on the strategic Bitcoin reserve. US, do you believe it is more likely or less likely to happen 50-50, 75-25? I'll lean towards 75 is likely. Same, yeah, I would be the same with you. 75% roughly, if not a little bit higher. Gosh. Question likelihood of BTC going down 20 to 25% soon before the big run up to. That was my original thought process here. We're at 99,290 right now. If we look at it here, historically we've had a 30% pullback, right, on Bitcoin. We've had it just here in the last year alone. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, so here's the screen. Here's Bitcoin right now. If we look at it from the top here, 30% retracement would put us down to approximately, we went down about 16% down to 91,000. Right? If we go down 30%, that would bring us down all the way to like 75,000 here, right? So it's not out of the question that this can't happen because this has already happened here recently. If you look at where we peaked here in March, right at 72, 73,000, wherever it was a little bit longer time frame, but we did go down to 33% here, down to 49,000 before we started going back up, right? So anything's possible with Bitcoin. So that's why I'm saying if we can break above the 100,000 mark and stay above there for a couple of days, that might be a good sign. If we don't and we fall below the 50 simple day moving average, we might be falling down. So something to be mindful of as always. With Bitcoin, you just never know. But I think with the big guys, they're going to try and move it up. We'll see. All right, back to here. All right, talked about that. Do you think miners will give opportunity to buy last week's prices? If Bitcoin goes down, then yeah, you could get at much better rates or much better prices than what we got here now. What else do we have here? All right, with BTC at around 100,000 miners are profitable, yes. Yep. Let's see here. Bill's fan says cold beer would also help your throat. Yeah, I don't like beer. Beer doesn't like me, at least. I have a headache right after I drink it. Okay. You got to drink it, Seb, not look at it. Hello. Okay. You're talking about that concoction there. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see here. Data from around hasn't been looking good at most news, looks bad for the markets. I'm talking about possibly a recession there. Possibly, let's see. Bloomberg tonight said Bitcoin trading sideways to the downside and been following the QQQ. Okay. Yeah, it's been trading a little bit sideways here recently, the last couple of days. But we'll see. It's good to see you laugh. Yeah. I'm thankful that I'm feeling a little bit better, though, but my throat is still definitely an issue there. So hopefully we'll get that resolved here. Okay, what is your guess on Cleanspark EPS for this quarter? Let's see if we can run the numbers on that really quick. I don't know exactly where they're going to come in, but we can run some numbers on it. All right, let's go back to the screen here. So last quarter, they were off by a little bit. Oh, gosh, got a bunch of quarterly results here. Fiscal year end, right? That was for the fiscal year end. They came in at... Right? No, minus net loss. Why don't the net loss reported here? Did I miss something or did I screw something up? Might have screwed something up. But for the quarter, it looks like they were short 62 million. Net loss was 62 million based on everything. So if they came in for the quarter, let's see, what was the quarter? Where's the numbers at? There's quarter. Okay. 62 million, 89 million revenue here. They're up 156 million. So they should have, if they're in loss, 62. So take away that 89, the kid a loss. So they should positive, but depending on how much stuff they put into it, they at least keep the books clean, not throw a bunch of crap into it. They should be looking much better at that point, I would think. Because what did they put into it last quarter? Let's see if there was anything specific here. Liabilities, where is it at? There it is, revenues. Revenues was 79. Cost of revenues was 57. Professional fees, payroll expenses definitely increased for them. General Administrative wasn't too bad. It was an increase, but they also bought Grid there. Gain on fair value. Oh, the gain on fair value should also help out there, right? 6 million loss on it at that point. They should have a positive with Bitcoin going up in value and their HODL increasing, so that should help out as well. I didn't even think about that right now. I mean, there's nothing that really sticks out here. Depreciation was up definitely. Hard to tell. I'd have to run the numbers on it to see where they could possibly come in at. If they use the same numbers here in Q4 more or less their Q4, which was our Q3, but so it'd be their Q1, our Q4. But I think they should be positive. Don't know exactly how much positive, but they should be positive on it, right? We'll see. All right. Talk about that. Squash says Riot overnight price 12.75, Mara 220.50. Nice. Riot flips Mara. Squash battles about Bitfarms and Cleanspark, please. Squash, but what about Bitfarms and Cleanspark? Where are they at right now? I don't know. I have to look. Let me see if we can find that. Okay. Michael says, too much bad news from other countries around the world, and on Friday, no beer companies must put that beer can cause cancer now, and why all beer companies was down Friday, and the government is, hell no. What was it? I mean, there's always something that's, what was it? Before was eating, having like butter was bad for you. Now it's good for you. Before was coffee was bad for you. Now it's good for you in moderation. Same thing with wine. It's just like, depending who you listen to, it's, everything's going to kill you anyways. Let's see here. Bitfarms is at $1.72 and Cleanspark at $10.75. So that is definitely up from where they were last week, right? $1.72. Bitfarms. No, they're still the same. Is it the same? $1.70? That's still the same. Cleanspark $10.75. That's actually lower. Cleanspark was at $10.80 on Friday. So that would be actually a dip there. Okay. Why do you think Papa Powell is switching up his tone? I think the inflation numbers, right, were a little higher, I think. CPI and the other one, the PCI, I think was 1. Those things are kind of sticking around a little bit. I think that's why. And the unemployment also. I think those are the reasons why. Okay. All right. Let's call it a day because I'm starting to lose my voice here, it seems like. All right. Save my voice for tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow as well. So I greatly appreciate you guys coming in here on this late of an hour on Sunday night at, my time, 11 o'clock. For you guys, might be even later, depending where you guys are at. So thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you guys. We'll see what tomorrow comes for us as far as Bitcoin miners as well, what the miners report for us for December production as well. And we'll cover it all. But yeah, love you all. Have a great night. Hopefully you guys have a great week as well with the miners and Bitcoin. It's long overdue for us. Like last week was nice. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.